All right, let's move on to our next game. It's a Sunday game. Everton 0, Arsenal 1. 1-0 to the Arsenal. We like that. And Dicko suddenly livened up a little bit. Leandro Trossard scored in the 69th minute. Yeah, it was kind of a slow burner. Everton super defensive, and I get it. I guess they remained in the game, Dicko, till the end, right? 0-0, 1-0. They're kind of in the game for points or a point. We can maybe chat that maybe after we speak Arsenal, though. But how much was it a mature performance? How pleasing was it that it was a little ugly and it was a little difficult? Arsenal were rugged and tough, and Arsenal, like the others, had players come back after international duty. Was it one of them where you're like, that's such a good 3 points, even though it didn't look that good? It's a really good win.
Well, it looked like they enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed watching it, because we've all played in games like that, and we've all drew them, and we've all lost them.
Yeah, all scenarios.
And the sign of a good side that is going to do something in this league consistently, you've got to go into a game like that, and you've got to make sure that you come out and you win the game. And 1-0 to the Arsenal is not a coincidence. It's something we built success over, is making sure you don't get beat, but scoring. Once you get 1-0 up, you play in a certain way, and you grind it out, and you have to do that. And I think it'll be when he looks back over the first 10 games of the season, when that's up, as a manager, maybe blocks of 10, you look at them and go, right, or blocks of 9. What did we do right? What did we do wrong? And that will stand out like a beacon to go, wow, that was tough, because 4-1 Everton didn't want to score, didn't want to try and do anything. Scary football. We're all fearful. We've lost 2 at home and now lost 3 at home. We haven't scored a goal, in massive trouble. But they were going for a point, and to grab a point against Arsenal, Sean Dyche would have been jumping through hoops. So it's difficult. They sat right behind the ball. The slow football, to play against that system's really difficult to break down, but they did it. So well done to them, and churn another one out next week. In fact, no, next week, go out and batter Tottenham 4-0, and then we'll see where we get to. But yeah, it was quite enjoyable.
I think a couple of things in it, and again, there's so many angles we can go down, but I do want to ask you about 2 things in the Arsenal side, and if basically from what happened today in terms of team selection. We'll get to Kai Havertz, but I want to get to David Raya and the decision by Mikel Arteta to play him instead of Ramsdale. And when we got the news, we're like, wow, we know that the 2 of them are there, and we've heard Mikel Arteta before say, I want 2 players for every position. He keeps saying it. He said it again today in interviews around the game. But it still felt, oh wow, is this okay with Ramsdale? Is this a temporary thing? Is this giving him a minute or a game before the Champions League? Where do you stand on this decision to bring in David Raya? He's on loan with a view to a signing, so they're not committed to buy him, which I think is really good for Arsenal. Really good. Have a great look at him. Do you think he's better than Ramsdale? Do you like the policy what Arteta's done here, or is this an odd one, a weird one, and they could have strengthened in another area instead?
It is weird to me, and I think it's a bit. I don't want to be disrespectful here, but I think it's a bit Pep-like. It's a sort of thing that it's a sort of decision Pep might do in a kind of, when he does one of those decisions, you go, wow, what's he done there? What's he thinking there? And I think Arteta he's obviously learnt off him a lot of things. He was with him for quite a few years, and his first managerial job, he's now one of the biggest clubs in the world at Arsenal. And he's a thinking man's coach, manager. Yeah. He's always trying to tweak things in his mind. We've been playing Partey at back that really didn't work.
Maybe at times,
and I think sometimes maybe overthink. This might be one of those occasions where he's gone, I need 2 goalies, because, Man City haven't got 2 goalies. They don't rotate the goalkeepers. He's just maybe going a little bit into his Pep feeling of, I'm going to do something different here. I'm going to just be careful. I always say with goalkeepers, you have to be careful that you don't. I know for a fact that Ramsdale won't, say, he's all right with that. Yeah, I'm going to fight for his place. Deep down,
every game.
He's absolutely furious. Yeah. I can guarantee he'll be absolutely fuming. I know him. I've played golf with him a few times at events, and I've talked to him about the game, and hugely passionate, very confident in his own ability, like most goalkeepers are, because it's that type of position. He will be...
And he's been good, Dicko. He's been good.
He hasn't made one mistake, has he? I haven't seen him make a mistake.
Very little. And all of a sudden, like, he's got this competition. It's going to put him on his edge. Does he play the game differently? Does he worry about making one mistake because it could change? I don't know. He hasn't made a mistake in the last few games, and yet he's out the side. I just wonder for the next game, what's he going to do? I'll tell you what I think he's going to do. I think he's going to play Ramsdale.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play Ramsdale in the Champions League game, does that mean that
He's
Ryan now
numbers.
No, having a few. Few. You have 4 or 5 now. He's had 5. You have 4 or 5, and then go back to him to have 5.
Dangerous.
We've never seen that before.
No. And the thing is with goalies as well. If say I'm playing not very good at right back, and the winger's getting the better of me every week, I'm in a bit of bad form, and he goes, Lee, I'm going to leave you out for a bit, and somebody else goes in, and you go, all right, well, you say you go in for my place, and you do a really good job, but ultimately I'm the right back, and I go, because most teams have got their set 11 that goes. He's the first choice number 2. He's a first choice left back. Pep swaps it around a bit, but in general, the left back for like Everton's going to be, or more or less. And if he's in form, he'll be playing. With goalkeepers, if Raya gets in now, which he's in, and he goes, right, you're going to stay in now till you make a mistake. You might not make a mistake because the goalies at that level don't make that many mistakes. The goals go in, but it's not always their fault. And you look at it and go, I don't think you can do that with goalkeepers. It's a specialised position. You can get a right back playing centre half. You can get a centre half playing right back. You can't get a centre half playing goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's trying to make it sound like just like every other position.
And it's not.
I want my players on their toes, all of them, to know that there's other players to come in. I don't know. It's an odd one to me as well. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, the Champions League game midweek is going to be fascinating. Who plays and how he's going to manage these two. The other one I want to ask you about is Kai Havertz, Lee.
Yeah.
I was like, why? And is this kind of the overthinking situation where everybody thinks, everybody can't well understand why I'm buying Kai Havertz, but I feel I can get the best out of him in a position. Now, we did have a conference call with Edu and Mikel Arteta, Lee, pre-season. Fascinating. Yeah. And the first thing I asked Arteta, I said, well, why?
Yeah.
It raised eyebrows, and he just felt like, is that position in midfield where Granit Xhaka played, he thought that was a really great position for him, for this team to have more quality, more depth, more youth, everything else. It's been a slow start from Kai Havertz. What's your feeling on the German?
I was the same with you. I was like, why are we signing him? And I was kind of going,
it's like maybe he's smarter than us. Like maybe Arteta's smarter than us.
No, absolutely, definitely, probably is. Yeah. But I was looking at it and I was going, not sure. And all the fans, all people like I know are Arsenal fans. What are we signing him for? And I was like, right, I'm going to go the other way here. And I'm going to go. I do actually quite like him when he plays well. So I go, I'm going to stick up for him here. I go, do you know what? Just he's going to be a slow burner, and I just hope
covering all bases.
I just hope he quickens up with his burning because he needs to get me out of trouble a little bit. But so I'm going to stick with him, Rob, for a bit, and I just go.
Yeah, let's just keep.
Smarter people than me have paid a lot of money for him. I just give him a. Yeah. I'll give him a bit more of a chance. Okay. I don't want to make my mind up just yet.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.